Yeah, move.
Then, final page. I'll sign before yours.
I sign, yeah?
Yeah.
This one.
That,
And then,
done.
they will say, thank you so much. No, I must first, yeah, you must sign, I must first sign.
All right.
I'll do that. Let's just get there. Minister, thank you so much. It was very good. Thank you, DG. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DG. Thank you. You are a star.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, definitely. Thank you. And I will bring you ice cream at the Olympics.
Can you please hold up your copies
Oh.
for photo op?
All right.
Thank you.
We've made provision for this.
Let me start first by saying that during my budget speech, I mentioned that high on the agenda will be school sport, arts and culture. But I must put emphasis on the fact that the Minister of Basic Education, I don't know who the fight has between her and Walaza. You were still, but I tell you, we met on the sidelines and we were talking, and I found her being the one saying, when are we signing? I'm ready for you. And for me, that speaks to the GNU. The GNU is what, in action, is what you're seeing here today. A few months ago, we were saying bad things about each other when we were campaigning. Today,
Now we're getting married.
Yeah, and now we're getting married. And you're a pastor. All right, thank you. But what I want to say, just speaks, and I must give props to the Minister first for her promptness, her effectiveness, and to her office and my office. They work day and night. DG, DVG, you've worked day and night to the teams to make this a possibility. Now let me explain for some of us what this means. This means if you are not a person in sport in school, there were some of them, that some of the youngsters in school, they were not sporty, if I can put it that way. But there's arts, there's culture. So this is not only sport. We're bringing back sport, art and culture in the school. And I want to thank the Minister for opening the gates so that our children can now know that, because I firmly believe, because I've got evidence of it, that a kid in sport is a kid out of court. And I can say a kid in art is a kid out of court. And that is a fact. And today in South Africa, through the Government of National Unity, we're going to sign this historic document that will produce Olympians. that will produce soccer stars. I mean, South Africa doesn't have a high school sports team, soccer team. If you say now, where's the high school, who is in the high school soccer team? You go to countries in Spain, they can't believe that. When they asked me, Minister Mckenzie, our school soccer team would like to play with you, I'm like, and now we're still cooking it, it's still in the oven. And I'm glad today it's giving birth.
Yes.
It's giving birth, we are starting, and people shouldn't, this is not only our departments, but we will have finance involved. We were going to involve also parents, we're going to involve community leaders, because what I've seen, and we must mention this, countries like Denmark, Azerbaijan, Abu Dhabi, they are smaller countries compared to South Africa. We are taking 135 athletes to the Olympics, but we are a 60 million country. We're taking the same amount of athletes to the Olympics that countries that are 5 million population countries are taking. That's an indictment on us. We are a talented country, we've got lots of talent, we must go find them. In the arts, you have people like Priti Yende. She's dominating world stages in opera music. You have people like Tyler that's dominating the world. You have Walaza, you have the Wait for Nickels of this world. So I'm just saying there's talent and now we are going to find it. And the one thing which is a truism, but it was a funny story my neighbor told me. She's an 80-year-old woman and she called me and she said, I want to donate some money for you to get wall climbing in black schools. I said, ma'am, will you do that? She said, because I've donated money to private schools and I would like to donate to black schools in the township. I said, well, we can do that, ma'am. And she said, let me tell you, children must be getting a fair opportunity. What's good for private school kids must be good for government school kids. And she said the funniest thing I heard in a long time. She said, I'm going to buy the first 100, show me the schools and I will buy the walls because the Olympic sport. I said, yes ma'am, I will come to you when we are ready. And she says, don't worry about athletes. If you want a medal in the next Olympics, just find the guy that stole and grabbed my phone because he was over this wall. There's already a silver or gold medal for you right there. So I'm saying that there's so much talent in South Africa. I want to really thank the minister. I want to say to the teachers, this is not extra work for you. We will explain the modalities, how it's going to unfold. I can assure you as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture that we are going to give the money for our children, for the schools to get, like, let's say, pole vaulting equipment, high jump equipment. We are going to build swimming pools at the school. Because it can't be where we expect children to compete on that level. But there's no swimming pool, but you want them to swim in an Olympic pool. So we're going to start now, and this is the start. It should be noted that it started here today. It's not the end. In 2 weeks, we are calling you again for a very big announcement, which I'm not going to talk about now, even if you give me some donuts. But in 2 weeks, there will be another massive announcement relating to this matter. So that's how serious we are about this. This is not just hilly cameras and we forget about it. The work starts now. We are going to identify schools. We got a very big donation from a private person saying we must identify schools. They want to give cricket bats. I'm going to talk to the minister. We're going to go to the most rural areas and go give where children that just see cricket on TV. And I mean, a person says, just show me the school and I will go give the kids. And we are going to, together with the minister, identify the most needy schools to go and give them thousands and thousands of cricket bats. And that's only the start. School sport, school art, school culture, it starts here today. We've got great news. I want to thank once again everyone. I'm excited because Bayanda, I was with Bayanda in Paris. And when we came back, I asked him a question at the airport. I said, what was your highlight of your Olympic experience? And he said to me, the free ice cream machine that was there. So I said sometimes your students are out of line because I deal with the minister, they were just eating ice cream. And then the minister went there when he got the medal to the school. She went there and the children were so excited that the minister is coming there and recognizing them. And there are many Bayandas out here. And we are going to make sure that we get the equipment, we get the gear, we make sure that our children are properly kitted out. That's what we are going to do. Minister, thank you very much. As I said, I must still find out between you and Bayanda who's the fastest.
No, he certainly is the fastest minister. I thought maybe for the purposes of our colleagues in the media, just to highlight in particular, what are some of the areas of collaboration that we will have with the department? Just to give you a sense of what we mean when we say, and what we actually mean by this implementation plan. We're looking at school sports, as we've indicated. We're going to be looking at sports ambassadors, a national youth camp, indigenous games, reading clubs, heritage education, the spelling bee, the Young Patriots program, physical education in schools, the National Library program, the South African Schools Coral Ice Stedford, the National Archives Awareness Week. We're going to be designating 28 DSAC entities such as cultural institutions, funding bodies of museums, performing arts centers, as well as community arts and culture centers in spaces of learning, various sector competitions and festivals, artists and schools program, the oral history training and also Albert Luchuli competition, which I'm a former winner of actually when I was a kid in school many years ago, flag in every school campaign, a provision of learner and teacher support material, competitions on performances through musical instruments along the lines of field bands, marching bands, and other indigenous music instruments, the Back to School campaign, the South African Schools debate competition to encourage a culture of debate on current affairs issues, educational programs that are provided by DSAC and its entities, as well as civil society organizations. So as the minister has indicated, this is only but the beginning. What we want to say, and what him and I are united in saying, is that we should not have superstars who are only coming from one section of our society because they have been able to be awarded and have the privilege to be able to go to schools that afford them those opportunities. We want to extend the opportunities to every single South African school learner so that it doesn't matter whether you're coming from Bukumbu or Sandton, that you have an equal chance and an equal shot of finding yourself in that Olympic pool, finding yourself on the global stage. That, for me, Minister, is what redress is about. That's how we redress the injustices of the past, so that where you come from does not determine where you go. And with this signing today, I think it's important that we're showing South Africans that we're saying our schools are open for business and the minister is coming in to do business with us.
Thank you very much. The minister said mouthful. And as he said, I'm particularly excited about debating so that we can have real debates in the country. Because sometimes parliaments are there for real debates. As we even get now, parliament is just all they know is point of order. And we want to avoid that in future. We want real debates, we want intellectual debates, we want people to challenge each other. And I want to say thank you for that. I mean, there you have it, it's not just sport. And we want to encourage businesses to get involved in schools, help out in the schools. Let us get, if you are good, we will find you. I want to tell the media story about a friend of mine that his son lives in Spain. And I have a friend that's a scout. And one day, this friend of mine came and he said to me, can't you speak to the scout? My son is very good, but he's not signed for a club. So I said, no, come to my house. And the scout was there, and this gentleman was here, my friend, and he was telling the coach in Spain how good his son is. And the coach says, how old is he? And he says he's 18. And he took out his laptop. And he opened his laptop, Minister. And he says, you say, what's his name? And he looked him straight in the face like, he's no good. I didn't know where to put my head. He said, he's good. He says, no, he's not good. If he was good, we would have caught him already at 14, 15 years, but it's not good. Nobody knows him. He's 18 and nobody knows him. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and then I made it a point to go watch this boy play. And I said, my friend, your son is no good. So what I'm trying to say is that the brilliance of them knowing if you are 18 and they've not picked you up, which means you're average. And that's where we should be moving to. We should know in our system. Because I tell you today, there's a lot of Boalazas today sitting in our system. And we are going to find them. We are going to find them, and if you're not a Boalaza, you better become one quickly. Join me in my running, just get, maybe you're the next champion. We never know. There's lots of sports I've seen at the World Cup. And Minister, lastly, you know, I'm not the best dancer that you can get. I'm just below average. So you got great, good, average, and below average. Like very, very bad, like with the Lagerfeld. I'm not at this level or very bad. I am below average. So I got to the Olympics. And when I was in the Olympics at UNESCO, representing the president there at the event, and they stood up there, they said, we have a new coach which we're going to enjoy, and they give us the history of breakdancing. And they put the breakdancer on there. I was tempted to go and get our first gold medal. Because what I saw there was a jump. And I didn't people dancing. If I jump on that stage now, I nearly put off my jacket and make some moves there from the time I grew up. So I'm just saying that we've got so much talent in South Africa. And we must make sure LA 2028 we are coming.
Yeah.
And it's started here. We are coming. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good doing business with you.
Thank you, ministers. We will